Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. So we're at Miami and I'm back in my Lancia 037 and there's just some races where you just have to be absolutely ruthless in Forza, especially when you're starting at the back, and this is definitely one of them. So see what we can do. Got off to a pretty good start and straight away it's kicked off. And there's a one car slow, so I'm just going to get around them. That's one place for free, and it looks like it's kicking off again. Everybody's washed out wide, so I'm just going to duck to the inside, keep a nice tight line. This guy's turned in on me, so he's taken to the grass, and then there's another guy coming onto the track at a really bad angle, so I've just had to hold my ground there. And then I'm going to just change round to the inside line. I've got the inside line. Somebody's crashing again, there's a few people crashing, and this guy's got a little bit sideways. I think he's managed to keep control. And there, I think we're just about through. We've got through, and then hopefully just took it down the inside, brake really late, and I've been pushed into somebody else, so somebody else is off the track, but it's not really my fault, and it looks like there's another little cluster of cars crashing, so I'm just going to push this guy ahead because he's slowed down, and duck to the inside again, just squeeze through that small gap, and I'm just going to brake really late and see what we can do. And there we are, braking really late. Really handy to have such good braking, and we're up into third place, so that's a podium position, starting from the back, and managed to get to a podium position, so that's not too bad going really. But yeah, I mean that is just the Forza way, you know. Sometimes you just have to be absolutely ruthless. It's shank or be shanked. So I guess, yeah, in that first lap there were a lot of shanking from me, so a lot of guys got pushed to the grass, but I feel like, in my defence, most of the people that ended up on the grass because of me is because they turned into me, who just blindly turned into me, so I don't really feel too bad about that, but it was just a very ruthless opening lap. But that's just what you've got to do, you know, when you're starting from the back. So finally we've caught up with this next guy, so we're just going to start putting him under some pressure now. I think he's driving a Mazda RX-7, I think. Has it got some kind of body kit on? I can't quite tell. But yeah, I'm just going to try and brake really late again. He's tried to brake really late and he's out braked himself, and he's just kind of gone off the track, so that was a fairly easy position. So now we can start looking at the guy in first place, see if we can get the win. But it looks like after all that chaos, he's managed to develop himself quite a decent lead. He's got as I was coming onto that straight, it was just going into the hairpin according to the minimap. So in fact, as he's going into the banking, he's got 1,700 feet on me, and it's just rising now. So I think the chance of victory looks pretty unlikely here. So just going to keep going for one more lap, go for a quick lap, and just see if we can close that gap at all. But I think I'm going to have to settle for second place here. It's pretty unlikely. But yeah, let's just see what we can do. So I really like this corner here. It's a sharp left-hander, and then this one opens up quite nicely. You've got to be careful on the power, but then use that curbing on the left-hand side, and then just propel yourself down this straight, and then start preparing for this next sharp right-hander. Really late braking, super late braking, and then drift out wide and short shift up to third. Try to keep as minimal amount of wheel spin as possible, and then you can start preparing for the hairpin. This is really hard to get right because it's a really late braking zone. There it is, really late on the brakes, trail braking, and then just get on the power as early as you like. And then it's just a long straight right down to the banking, and looking at the race markers, I'd say it's actually up to 2,000 feet, so it looks pretty unlikely that I'm going to catch this guy. So, well, we've put in one decent lap here. This is going to be a 1:22.7 there, so that's not a bad. It's a pretty decent lap, so it should set me up, maybe if not pole, then definitely on the front row for the next race. So we'll just see what we can do for the next race. Obviously, starting from the back, you know, it's always difficult to get a victory, especially if a guy in the lead, if he makes a breakaway and he's got good pace, the chances of victory are pretty low. But at least this time, for the next race, I can start in a good position and should be on the front row and see if we can challenge for that victory on the next race. So we're just coming to the end of this race now, and I think lap time wise I'm slightly down, so I think I'm going to have to rely on that third lap. I'm going to have to rely on lap 3 for my qualifying time. But looking at the distance markers, he hasn't pulled away that much more on this lap, so pace wise I'm not doing too badly. I think if I'd have been higher up the grid I could have maybe challenged for the lead, but oh well, this race is over and it's definitely going to be a second place. So yeah, that was pretty decent, starting from the back, and made some pretty good progress there. So that was quite good fun. And yeah, so there's the results. Pace wise, on this track I was about a second a lap down, but I think that's largely because of the car I was using. I do like using this car, but on the power tracks you suffer slightly, not hugely, but yeah, you do find that you're maybe about a second a lap slower with this car. But yeah, there you go. I hope you enjoyed it. Like, subscribe and all that good stuff, and I'll see you for the next race.